Hi, and welcome back. I'm super excited today to talk to you about the energies for the month of June. It's quite magnificent, it's very potent, and super positive. Themes that will be explored today will be, yes, the energy of the month of June, how to best utilize these energies, a bit about the financial system. There's a switch now that we can make that is available to us, and I will explain that. And also talk a little bit about a divine union. So these topics may interest or resonate with all of you, maybe some of you. At the end of the day, just please take what resonates and discard the rest. So for the month of June, the symbol that I'm getting is like a sun, and it's super bright and it's way high in the sky. Like there's not a single cloud inside. And it suggests to me, and it feels like the feeling of it, of June being an incredibly illuminating period. Illumination can have different meanings for different people, or it may look different for this month of June. It does imply receiving a lot of answer to perhaps a lot of questions that we had. If our path maybe in the last few months or even the last few years felt at times muddy, like we were just getting little bits of information, but we never really knew where we were going with this, the month of June appeared that it would be illuminating this area of our life with concrete steps to take. It can also mean, in a way of purging, healing, doing energy work, and all of this stuff, sometimes can create a little bit of uncomfortable situations here in the 3D world. And you you can see, we'll be able to see starting in June, what is the way out of the situation we may have created around ourselves, to not only heal inside, but also heal the things in the 3D world that we may have been struggling with. So, what else? There's something important I feel there I had to say about that. Oh, yes. If you feel there's a little bit of stickiness with some unresolved energies, now is the time to push ourselves out of our comfort zone, and we can ask, if it feels right for you, Jesus Christ, to ask Jesus Christ and to come and unburden us with these energies. This is what I've been doing in the last week, and yes, I had to do some work. Was it uncomfortable? Yes, I had to push myself out of my comfort zone, but it wasn't to a degree or an intensity that was, like the intensity that it was, these energies was in the past. So I could push myself outside of my comfort zone for a much longer period of time and eventually burn that energy. So all that to say that whatever energies you feel you're kind of struggling with right now, but you're noticing, yeah, but it's not as bad as what it used to be. Keep doing that. Keep pushing yourself a little bit outside of your comfort zone. Ask for Jesus Christ to help you with the release of these energies and watch these energies disappear out of thin air almost. This is what happened to me in the area of my life that I was struggling with. If I'm going to do a small share here so it's relatable, um, having dealt with post-traumatic stress disorder for most of my adult life and that time quite intensely, uh, I come a long way with that, like regulating my nervous systems and all that. But I've noticed I'm still struggling a little bit with the freeze response, which translated in me having an incredibly difficult time starting tasks. So once the task was started, I could get a lot of juice and I could flow nicely, but it was always a freeze response. Everything always felt like I was swimming against the river, against the current. And it was tiresome to just operate in the world in that way. And this past week, I've actually structured myself to do all kinds of tasks, even though they were uncomfortable, and I kept with it. And then I asked Jesus to come and help, and it's gone now. Now I can find myself getting up in the morning and actually being able to function and experience joy out of the activities that I'm doing instead of some kind of dreadful energies lingering that I couldn't shake for some reason for the longest time. So this is a small shift, but I know it's going to have a tremendous, powerful impact in my life in the way I can experience joy and happiness in my day-to-day life and bring more positivity. And this is again on part with the energies of June, embracing positivity, feeling that things can move forward now with uh, with a sense of stability, that things will run smoother now. We're not swimming against the current anymore, but we're floating with it and all of that good stuff. So, in light of that, for some of us, I want to talk about the financial system because there's a big switch happening in June, and I want to explain a little bit what's behind that. It was a year and a half ago. I was 3 hours away from where I'm currently at. I was in a jungle for an entire year, and I would only come out once a week, do my groceries, and the rest of the time I'd be like meditating, working with portals, and tapping into all kinds of energies. And one of these energies was El Dorado, the city of gold. It's infamous in some folk tales throughout Central and South America. And turns out that Ecuador has a lot of gold, lots of gold mines, incredibly rich in gold. And what I was shown and taught then is when gold is buried underneath the ground, it helps everyone, it sustains everyone, it benefits everyone collectively. Once we start dragging it out of the ground, then it becomes profitable, but on an individual level. It ceases to benefit people as a whole collectively and only start benefiting people individually, which can then create social inequalities, and all of that. So once I found that out, I was like, well, I can work with energy. So I did a ceremonies, and by the river, I found a spot. It was super mystical and magical. And for 3 days, I sought to revert that to create a financial system that could benefit the whole collective. And it was not for personal gain. It was not meant to benefit people on an individual level. It would be like collective and holistic for society. From what I'm seeing from interacting, that was from interacting with Jesus and Abraham last night, is this is an incredibly potent move. And although it seems that the financial systems, since a long, long time ago and until recently, was only favoring certain people, it seems that the doorway now is open so we can start connecting with a financial reward system that is beneficial for the collective. And it may still very much use legal tender for now, because legal tender are actually backed by gold in certain places. I think perhaps even most places, not entirely sure. But anyways, it's still, the energies are there to move away from that. And now there was a waiting period, if you say, and that may have been financially uncomfortable for a lot of you in the last year and a half, or for some times now, as there was kind of a period of transition. But what I'm shown, what I'm seeing, and what I feel is we can finally lock in this new financial system, and it's steady, it's good to go. So if this is something that your heart desire, then you can call this in for yourself. Because I was shown that when we do that, we create an entirely different timeline for ourselves. So if this is something that speaks to you, I highly recommend you calling these energies for yourself, that you wish in your heart, do a ceremonies or whatever it feels right for you to do so, to start calling in and tapping and operating from a financial system that benefits the collective, that is healthy and holistic for all. And expect to be pleasantly surprised is what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing. So another topic of discussion, and that may resonate maybe it's only for one of you, I don't know, I'm just channeling here, sharing what I see energetically in the energies, is a divine union. Now, you may have heard things about like soulmate or what's the other one? Not a karmic relationship, but I don't know. There's another one there. I can't remember the name of it. These labels never really resonated with me because I felt they were a bit egoistical. Oh, twin flames, and yeah, soulmates, and these concepts. And the reason I personally don't resonate with them is it's based on the concept of a soul. And the soul is a concept, and to me, it's just another layer of separation between ourselves and the divine. It's just another layer of identity. And I would even propose that the soul is just a astral projection of our own ego, really. And I also question, what are we trying to achieve when we start labeling our relationship like, oh, twin flames and soulmates and these type of things? I feel when we have to put a label to make something seem more like it's so dramatic in a way, you can experience love in your heart for someone without having it to label this relationship any kind of dramatic thing. And I even questioned that, like, if your relationship is pure with someone, then there probably no need to be putting all of these extra fancy labels. Like, to me, it just personally, I feel like labeling these relationships with such labels maybe sometimes undermines other dynamics that we don't really want to see within that relationship. But putting that aside, I was shown and explained to me yesterday what is a divine union looks like, and it has nothing to do with just the two people involved. There came a point on my path where I had been celibate for a long time, like years, and I was like, guys, I was ready to fully surrender myself to the Holy Spirit and Jesus Christ and be of service to humanity. And this is my way of being married to the ethers, if you say, like, I'm married to my soul purpose in that way. So what I was yeah, when I did that, I asked that if there were going to be a man in my life, that he had to also had surrender himself to Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit, that he would have to be of service to God, and this act of service would have to be a priority above anything else, because this is where I was at. So it's either he has his own purpose and we support each other on this spiritual path and journey, or we have a joint mission and then we can walk each other with that mission. What I was shown yesterday is when we make such a commitment with Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit, and then we are met with someone who are also on this patch, which I have, and I don't want to give any more details than that, is this union flows through Jesus Christ, and therefore this union is already blessed because the love is already given and there's already an interaction in a flow with Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit. So when two people meet at that level, this union is meant to be blessed and holy in some ways. And again, it is kind of another label, but when you feel Jesus Christ in your living room and is right there with you, and you feel the energies that he brings into your life, into your heart, into your path, and into your relationship, I highly recommend 1010 experience. Totally. So this is what I have for you today. I also would like to share that my services, my metaphysical services, are now donation based. So if you wish to have a session with me, you can just contact me here on Facebook through Messenger or email me. I will pin my email in the comments if you're watching this from YouTube, and it will be in the description box anyways. And yes, you can contact me, and essentially I can help you with either the integration of multidimensional energies, with blockages, with transits, and yeah, activations, and any other questions you may have, whether you're new to your awakening journey or you're a seasoned veteran ready to unlock your Jedi abilities, I'm here for you, available. And again, it's currently all donation based. Talk about having a big trust in the Holy Spirit. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.